Like, yeah, just like, what do you want to play? And then it clicked for me that, oh, it was his wedding. Like, he got married while, like, texting with me, like, a few weeks ago. So I guess that's why he blocked me, because he got married.
So I had to tell to this guy, sorry, can you come outside? I'm with the policeman. But he was really, really cute. He was like, oh yeah, don't worry, blah, 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 it's okay. He got me after that. I can understand, it's okay.
One of my friends had a dating experience. Some guy sniffed her butt, just unprompted.
Being a queer woman here is actually, it's acceptable.
Where are you from?
I'm from Denmark.
How long have you been in Korea?
I've been here for more than 3 years.
Have you experienced dating in Korea?
Yes, I have.
Where are you from?
Spain. Nice to meet you.
Have you dated in Korea?
Not really like proper date, but I met a lot of guys in the street, like clubbing and partying.
I'm from Italy.
Have you gone on dates here in Korea with Koreans?
Yes, I date with Koreans and I have a lot of story.
America?
Have you gone on dates out here in Korea with Koreans?
Yes, I have gone on lots of dates actually, yeah.
And how has those experiences been for you?
They've been very interesting because actually, like, I just came out as pansexual a while ago. Actually, before coming here, I had no experience really with women, but I've been having a lot of experiences here with women now, so yeah.
I am from the USA.
And how long have you been living in Korea?
I came here in March 2019.
Have you gone on dates in Korea with Koreans?
Yes, my ex-boyfriend was Korean. I've been on a couple dates with Koreans. Kind of stopped dating as of a couple of years ago for various reasons, but yes, I have.
I'm from England.
And how long have you been living in Korea?
Almost 3 years.
Are there a lot of Brits in Korea?
Yeah, there's quite a few. It feels like home.
As someone that's been living in Korea for 3 years now, have you gone on dates in Korea with Koreans?
Yes,
And how has those experiences been for you so far?
not great.
Is it different dating in Korea compared to your home country, Denmark?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I was really shocked in the beginning because in Denmark, when we date really long time and seriously. If I start dating a guy in Denmark, it takes 3 to 4, 5, 6 months before we are boyfriend and girlfriend. But here in Korea, it's like you go on a few dates and then you're a couple. So here it's like not as serious. You are more dating. Whereas in Denmark, it's like after we become a couple, we become serious quite fast, live together, meet the parents, and here it's not really like that. So
Back home, do you date for the purpose of marriage?
I mean, I feel like I do, but when I talk to my friends, many of my friends are in long-term relationships and they're just living together. Or like when I ask them, oh, like, are you planning on marrying? They're like, no. So yeah.
Is dating in Korea different from your home country, Spain?
Yes, so much different. I think because here they don't have like faces. In Spain we have a lot of faces, like you never know where are you like going into a relationship, and here like at the first moment they kind of know that you are gonna be his girlfriend. So it's like instantaneously.
I had a good experience and bad experience, but more good compared to Italy.
How is it different compared to Italy?
So here, like 2 days ago, I went outside with a guy, and when we were walking on the street, he saw a car coming to us. He was like moving me back, and it was so cute. I mean, do you know the drama?
And usually, like, how would men from back home, like, treat you?
Just a coffee, that's it. And they will the whole package for just a coffee. So here is more, they're really gentle. They make you feel really lovely, really like they care about you. So that's my experience, and I really appreciate it now, especially in these days with Tinder. They just scroll up, I don't like that.
Being in, like, on dates and, like, with women out here, like, how has that experience been for you? And also, like, how is it different from back home?
The experience has been really good, by the way. Yeah, I'm kind of like new to everything with dating. I like literally no experience back home. Like in general, the experience of dating has been very new and very refreshing. Like I actually feel like people care, and also like I don't know, like being with Korean women, like they're just like women in general are very like sensitive and caring for each other. So I feel that vibe, and it's really good.
How were your dating experience in Korea been so far?
If I could summarize it in 3 words, it would be alien versus predator. I've had some interesting experiences. I would say it's not all Korean men, but the ones you find in Hongdae where we are right now, maybe so. Just anywhere, men are men everywhere. I'm from Indiana, born and raised, and then I moved to Seoul. So this is actually my first time living in a city. So maybe, honestly, the difference could be like country dating versus city life dating. That could be part of the reason why things are a little strange here.
And how is the dating culture back home different compared to Korea?
Here there's very much more of like a dating couples culture. Of course, you'll see like the matching clothes clothing. They'll be very lovey-dovey in the text. The frequency is text, it's much higher. I'm someone who prefers kind of like low maintenance relationships. Like if you text me more than like once every 3 days, I start to freak out a little bit. It was a bit of a culture shock in that scenario.
My first dating experience in Korea. We met up at a nice restaurant. All he could talk about was playing soccer and how football, and how he had a leg injury and that caused him not to be a professional football player. Basically, that was his whole personality. Yeah, I could have been a football player had I not had my ACL torn. He wasn't a good football player, no offense.
Did you see him play?
He kept showing me videos of him play. He was like pulling up like old YouTube videos from like years ago. And yeah, it was not great. Why was I still seeing him? I don't know. The first date, he kept love bombing me. You know when someone gets really touchy-feely with you? I don't know him like that, but he was doing that all on the first date. Not great. Then, one time, this is the same guy. He met my friends for the first time. Why was he flirting with one of my friends in front of me? He wasn't even being like discreet about it or anything. And my friend was just like, what is he doing? This makes no sense. He was just really odd. Never again.
What do you think is the biggest red flag when dating someone in Korea?
For me, in my experience, I think the love bombing. Love bombing is like when you meet a person and they're very like, oh, I love you, I want to marry you, I want to go on a trip with you, I want to, like, they make all these plans, like future plans, even though you just started dating. And I mean, you just met me. So how would you know that I'm this amazing person? I guess many of them, they do it to just like catch you, like to keep you interested. And back then when I first came to Korea, I didn't know about this. So for me, I was like, wow, what a great guy. So yeah, look out for the love bombing.
How do you deal with your red flag experience in Korea?
I mean, I feel like I'm more clever now. Like, I know what to look out for example, the love bombing or the answering really slow. So when I met my current boyfriend, these were the things I was really looking out for, but he luckily didn't have any of these traits, red flags. So yeah, I guess it helped me to be less naive and more smart.
What do you think is the biggest red flag when dating someone in Korea?
I think the biggest red flag is that they are like super intense. Even if they don't know you, they promise you the world, and you are not feeling like even like special. You know that if it's not you, it's gonna be like another girl that they met. So it's look like you are special or something. They don't care.
And how do you deal with that?
I don't. I just said, okay, next. It's okay. It's not for me. So I'm not used to that thing.
How's it back home in Spain? Like, how did men go about courting the women?
I think they are pretty chill, but I think also because they are used to have like so many female friends. And here I think they are not used to have a relationship with females, like out of a relationship, like romantic relationship, you know? So in Spain, everybody's used to meet like women or talk to women. Here, they don't know how to do it. So I think that is like the main like biggest gap between Spain and here.
The red flags is you don't know them really well. So I had this bad experience. I dated with a guy, and I discovered after 1 year he had a girlfriend. She sent me a message in Instagram like, why my boyfriend wrote your name in the snow? I was like, who is your boyfriend? And yeah, they stayed together for 5 years.
What do you think is your biggest red flag in Korea when dating?
Definitely if they're like looking at you kind of as if you're like an object and not really a person, because I've seen that a lot, where even like older men have come up to me and they look like they're 60, maybe 50, and they're just like, oh, do you want to get coffee sometime and stuff? And I can see right through them that they don't actually care about me, and they just like the idea of me. Pretty much, yeah.
What are your red flags when dating someone in Korea?
I would say the biggest red flag is if he has a wife and isn't telling you. I've gone on a date with a guy before, and at the end of the day, he's like, oh, by the way, you know I'm married, right? I'm like, you should have mentioned that at the beginning. Cool. I've also gone out on a date, wouldn't necessarily call it a date, with a guy who was like, I don't know, retired basketball player. And he showed me, he kept a notebook of all the women he ever slept with, where they met, their age, their rating out of 10, and it had like hundreds of women in it. So I'd say that's a pretty big red flag, having a roster of women.
How can you easily pick up on red flags in Korea?
I think it's important to have just like common sense. If your intuition says something get off, it probably is. Just because you're in a different country doesn't mean you need to turn that off.
Red flag experiences. It's just when they're being really pushy about you staying in Seoul. I don't live in Seoul, so I have to travel to Seoul quite a lot of times. But when they're really pushy. Other red flags, they just talk about themselves too much and they don't ask you any questions. They're not interested in you. But I feel like it's not just in Korea. I feel like it's worldwide.
What is the weirdest experience you've encountered while dating in Korea?
Oof. I have quite a few stories, but I think the worst story or the funniest, I mean, it was really a WTF moment because I was talking with this guy for a few weeks and he would always answer me so slow. But I wasn't thinking about it because I was like, oh, he has a business, he's busy. And he would always go to Suwon. And I would always think, why are you going to Suwon? Always. And then after a few weeks, he suddenly blocked me, but I can still see his picture on KakaoTalk. And on the picture, he's wearing a tux, like a tuxedo, and next to him is a girl in a white dress. And my first thought, because I was so naive, I didn't know about the dating style here. Not that it's a dating style, but I was like, oh, his sister is wearing a pretty dress. And then, because I met some of his friends too, so I saw they were at a wedding. And then it clicked for me that, oh, it was his wedding. Like, he got married while, like, texting with me, like, a few weeks ago. So I guess that's why he blocked me. Because he got married. That was a experience.
What is the weirdest encounter you've experienced while dating in Korea?
Wow, it's not related to me, but one of my ex-housemates, she was dating a Korean guy for like 3 or 2 days, and he asked the whole house if he could move in with us to live with her. And we were like, oh, hell no. Like, what is this, like, conversation? So it was like really creepy.
And how, if you were to compare like back in Spain, like how is it gonna be? When did the guys actually ask to maybe like move in or the girl?
Years, I think. Like that is not happening like in the first date, not even in the first month, not even in the first year. So it's gonna be pretty difficult.
My weird experience is not his fault. It's just something happens. So I went in a day with these guys outside from Seoul. It's like 2 hours by train. And I send my position to my friend, no? Because you never know who are going to meet. So it's better to send your position. But my phone died. So my friend called the police because she was so worried and had to tell to this boy, sorry, I had a problem. My friend, she's here. I need to go downstairs. The police was looking for me. And they say, oh, sorry, are you Pina? Yes, I am. And they want to know where is this guy, where he's from. So I had to tell to this guy, sorry, can you come outside? I'm with the policeman. So, but it was really, really cute. He was like, oh yeah, don't worry, blah, 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 it's okay. He got me after, but I can understand, it's okay.
What's it like being a queer woman in South Korea?
It's actually not like horrible or anything. Like no one would know unless they come up to me, but you know, I can just authentically be myself. That's what I love about being here. I feel like closer to my identity and being myself. And it's so crazy because people would not expect that, you know, in an Asian country where, you know, things are still typically traditional. But being a queer woman here is actually, it's acceptable. I don't feel like people care like that. I think everyone's mindset nowadays is be yourself and being yourself is okay.
And where do you think the stereotype of being queer in Korea like is problematic? Like where do you think that stereotype is coming from?
I would say like people who probably haven't traveled here, you know, the keyboard warriors and people who stay behind screens, and also like people who are used to the old ways of Korea. I think Korea is in a really like progressive movement right now. Because I go to Seoul Women's University and they're actually having protests for like a sexual abuse case. We have a really radical feminist group and they've been like having just all this like spray paint everywhere and everything. So all these different movements have been like coming up in Korea and it's been so awesome. And like I went to the Seoul drag parade here and it was just like we could be free. Like I never felt like discriminated against. Like I could just be me. And so even when it comes to dating, like I've felt so free out here, like more than back home. So I was not expecting that, but yeah.
What is the weirdest date experience you've had in Korea?
I don't know. I've had more incidences with strangers and like intentional dates. I did try to go on a real date with a guy on a dating app and he's like, oh, we can do a language exchange. And then we met up and then turns out he actually meant he wanted a language exchange. So he asked me to use like multiple different forms of Korean and to send him 3 sentences a day in Korean to practice. And I'm like, no, this isn't working out. Don't talk to me. Have a nice life. And it was a dating app for gold diggers. So I don't know what he was expecting looking for a language exchange. You know Gold Spoon?
Oh yeah, I know Gold Spoon, yeah.
Yeah, I got approved. It was a social experiment. I was looking for a bit. So that was probably the strangest dating experience. I'm like, I'm fully expecting at least buy my coffee, but no, I bought my own coffee. It was just Korean curriculum, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good.
What's the weirdest experience you've had in the dating scene in Korea?
I go on a date with this man, and for some reason in his back pocket he had like massage oil. Okay, it's not PG. It's not PG anymore. Basically, he had that. He was like, after dinner, let's go back to your place. I have oil. The weirdest experience. I guess that's it. One of my friends had a dating experience. Some guy sniffed her butt, just unprompted, just sniffed her butt. Okay, I probably should be saying this, but yeah, that's a secret.
What's the best way to meet people to go on dates with here in South Korea?
A lot of people have said in the past, like, oh, don't meet Hongdae people, like, don't date people you meet in the clubs or in bars. But I feel like other than that, except dating apps or going out and randomly meeting people, I don't really see how else you can meet unless you're lucky and somebody sets you up. Because with my current boyfriend, I actually met him in a bar in Hongdae. So, like, it is possible to meet nice people. You just gotta be lucky, I guess. And you can even meet someone, like, randomly on the streets. So, yeah, I think there are many ways, many nice ways, nice and bad ways.
And how long have you been with your current boyfriend with?
We are together 2 years now.
Oh wow, okay. So the amount of time you've been in Korea.
Yeah.
What is the best way to meet people to go on dates here in Korea?
I actually don't know. I don't go to like really like dates here because I think they are not my type. So some people love like Korean guys because of the K-drama. A lot of girls are like also so intense and they love like this kind of fast love and like, you know, like so romantic and everything. So I think that is like the real main point for girls like going on dates with Korean people for sure.
You mentioned earlier like Korean guys are not your type.
They are, but they are if they live already in another country, so they used to, you know, adapt to other societies or have like mix something like they are not 100% Korean that they never left Korea.
What are the best ways to meet people here in Korea?
For me, the best way is to go to some group, to go to do some experience like hiking, or you can go to read books, or I just go in some community groups now, and you can meet a lot of people, not only Korean, also foreigners, but it's nice.
How do you know like someone that is queer in Korea?
That's a hard thing in general because like you never know the signs. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Like, you know, there's vibes and people have a gaydar, some people don't. Like whatever you're into, you just have to go for it and make sure you like approach the person comfortably. Don't make them feel any type of way because it still is a touchy subject, but you have to see what happens. You'll never know. There's no way that you can actually know unless you ask the person. So with all these situations with the girls I've been with, I've just kind of tested the waters by seeing what they do first before, and like I ask them at a certain point when I feel like, you know, I'm really confused, I'm like invested now. So that's basically how you have to handle that situation.
You know, as someone that has been living in Korea for, you know, like the past 6 years now, how do you meet people in Korea to go on dates with?
Well, I don't use dating apps. Honestly, the way I just meet anyone or live my life is I do stand-up comedy here, and I meet audience members, I meet other comedians. I don't date other comedians, but that is how I met my ex-boyfriend. That's how I got my last job. I think it's really important living here. You need to find your community, find a hobby, and just meet people naturally in person. Dating apps are weird, and I mean, Koreans don't even use dating apps to meet people here. So just focus on broadening the people you have in your life, meeting people that you like who can introduce you to people that you would like, and I think that's honestly the best tactic.
What's the best way to meet Koreans to go on dates with?
Honestly, I have no idea. I keep using apps. They're clearly not working. Maybe just go sit in a cafe, approach someone. I don't know how it works because I feel like Koreans don't approach you first. You kind of have to approach them.
What advice would you give to foreign women dating in Korea based on your experience?
I would say please don't be too naive. Like, don't fall for all the like lovely traits they have. It's not all Korean men, of course, and it's also just based on my experience. But yeah, if they're super sweet to you and it goes really, really fast, I would just say just take it slow. There's no rush. Take your time, get to know the person, and yeah, and most importantly, have fun. But don't think that, oh, this is my serious relationship unless you take some time.
And what do you look for in a partner?
I honestly look more for the personality. Like, I want a kind person. For example, with my boyfriend, I knew that I really, really liked him when I saw how he was towards older people. There's sometimes homeless people, or there's sometimes older men and women selling stuff on the streets, and he would always buy stuff from them, and I would ask him, like, are you eating these, like rice cakes or whatever? He's like, no, I just wanted to help them out. So that really made me like him. So I look for a kind part.
What advice would you give to all the foreign women that are dating in Korea?
Find yourself a man who lived out of Korea for sure. At least 1 year, 2 years, month, I don't know. And know how to encounter like women's or, live in another like society with other group of people. Maybe half Korean, half whatever nationality, but 100% Korean, they are a little bit weird. If you like K-drama, I think it's gonna be fine for you for sure.
What is one advice to give to other women that would like to date in Korea?
Never trust a man. Don't trust them. Don't give all yourself for a man. You need always to be careful because you never know. That's my advice.
What is one advice you'd like to give to other women that would like to date out here in Korea?
Well, if you're not queer, I definitely think you still have a lot of chances because everyone here is just like really open and accepting to foreigners. Like Korea, like it was homogeneous, but like now I feel like it's very diverse because it's like really a popular tourist destination. So I feel like you definitely have a chance. You just like, you can't really expect anything. Like life is unpredictable here in Korea, honestly. Like everything has changed in my life so much since coming here. So I think you definitely have a chance even if you are straight. And clearly you have a chance too if you're not straight. So yeah, I just would say like don't lose hope and whatever is possible. Yeah.
What advice would you give to like other foreign women that are wanting to date in Korea?
1, don't. 2, I don't know. I mean, a lot of Korean women aren't even dating Korean men, so maybe think about that for a second. 2, again, trust your instincts, learn Korean, involve yourself in a community, and keep an open mind, but still have common sense. You shouldn't want to date someone because they're Korean. You should want to date them because you like them as a person. Or if you're me, you date them because you have terrible taste. Last piece of advice, dating shouldn't be a priority. Live your life the way you want and to the fullest, and if someone adds to your life, then you should include them. But if not, just focus on being you.
What kind of advice would you give to other women out there that are wanting to date in Korea?
Just be safe, If they keep talking, leave about themselves. If they keep talking about themselves, leave. If they just ask really weird questions, out-of-pocket questions, leave. Quite a few of the people that I have dated in Korea have had secret girlfriends. So keep an eye out. If they keep saying, I'm out of town for the rest of the month, I'm only free on this particular day, it's a bit fishy. So just fact check everything. Or just don't date. Just stay single.